Can you see that? This has a little bit of mold. These are not bees. It's quite embarrassing. Hello, welcome back to Sage and Stone Homestead. My name is Heather. So I have been a beekeeper for, will be my 3rd summer. And last year I really was not the best beekeeper. I was more of a bee haver, just sort of left the bees out to their own devices. We had started the year out with 8 colonies and I ended the year with 2 colonies. We got both colonies through the winter and they've actually already swarmed. It's been a pretty warm end of winter here, but thankfully they swarmed into one of my empty boxes that I already had out there. But it is time to do the first hive inspections of the year. I need to get this smoker running and I need to get my veil and jacket and all that put together. This here is sage that we actually grew in the garden 2 years ago. I had saved it and dried it specifically for my bee smoker. And I didn't get to use much of it at all last year, but it's not like this stuff goes bad.
Steal the torch for a second, start the barrel.
Okay.
I'll put it back.
Okay, thanks. Because I'll probably lose this smoker. I'm not very great at lighting it. This is one of the 2 colonies that we got through winter. It's actually really small. I imagine that they're getting quite packed in there and I may have to add a box to them. I am going to be switching over to long hives, the long Langstroth, instead of stacking the boxes on top of each other. They're not quite ready, but the bees are. They've been working for a while. So if I need to give them space upward, I'll do that. This is actually a colony that I've never looked at. I caught them as a swarm and then that was it. I actually don't even remember if they have an inner cover or not. Oh, they do. Okay. Oh yeah. Holy cow. This colony is so packed that I don't think I have to worry whether or not they have a queen. Their attitude tells me that they do. This is a lot of bees and they don't care that I'm here, which is excellent. But I can tell just by looking at them here that they're bubbling over and they need some space. So I'm gonna set them down gently and I'm gonna go grab one of my extra boxes. They need it. So I came back around to the front of our apiary here where I've got just some boxes here just out of the dead colonies from last year, and I've noticed that I don't have 3 colonies like I thought I did. I have 4 now. This one had bees in it all winter. This was brand new as of just a couple weeks ago. I noticed that some bees moved in here. Look next door. I do wonder a little bit if this whole top box is honey. It could be. By gazing down in, it kind of looks like it. Yeah. That there's all honey. Super dark. This colony looks good and active. They sound like they have a queen. And the sound of a colony that has a queen is just this low, lovely hum. I can hear that inside this colony, and truthfully, I need a new bee suit. This is just a jacket. I have my jeans on down here, but they can sting through jeans. And in order to look at the brood box underneath, I'd have to take this whole honey super off. This is going to be really heavy, but also when I set them down, generally I'll set them down on the baseboard here, and that exposes the bees to my somewhat bare legs as far as beekeeping goes. And I would like to enter this particular colony more prepared. I wasn't aware we were gonna have a full honey super, you know, in the middle of March, but here we are. This colony is a lot smaller, so we should be able to check out some brood in this one before I get a new bee suit. Ooh, there's ants over here. A lot of them. Oh no. I'm sure the bees hate that. This colony does have some brood. What brood is, it's kind of what it sounds like. It's baby bees. The baby bees are underneath that fuzzy capping right in the middle there, but also they'll be in here in the form of eggs and larvae, and that's really what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the young bees, super young. If I can identify eggs and super young larvae, it means that I've had a queen in here in the last 3 days. The eggs hatch into larvae in just 3 days. And making sure that this colony has a queen, that's really my main priority. What went wrong last year was probably me just not making sure that the hives had a queen. If they don't have a queen, there's no way for them to build back up, and you need, you know, quite a decent population. There's even more brood on this frame. It's much bigger, and it looks like there was a recent swarm. Can you see that? This cell at the bottom of the frame here, that's a swarm cell, and it looks like it was recently opened, meaning a queen hatched out not that long ago. And usually when that happens, it means you've had a swarm. Maybe these are the bees that moved just next door. I do see eggs on this frame. So whichever queen hatched out of there has mated and come back, and she's been laying. And I don't really need to see more. This is a good, healthy colony. Oh, can you see that? I hope this comes up on camera. That's one of my favorite things about this time of year. And looking at the bees is that beautiful red pollen. Oh, that's gorgeous. I think that comes from the purple dead nettle, but I'm not exactly sure. And apparently there's one more colony to look at. Let me see if I can go deeper. There's not very many bees in the top. Can you notice the difference here? There's not just happy mounds of bees kind of bubbling up from in between the frames. See, this has a little bit of mold on it. No, I don't think this is actually an active colony. What the bees in here are probably doing is just stealing resources. There is quite a lot of pollen in the frames in here, and bees are opportunistic. They will rob other colonies or take advantage of a dead hive, and that's what's going on here. They're not robbing, they're just taking what was left behind. Oh my goodness. Well, that's not good at all. These are not bees. The reason that I'm setting up the boxes like this, even though they're empty, there's nothing in them, and even though they can grow things like mold, is because a swarm of bees generally doesn't care. When a bee swarm moves in there, they will make quick work of cleaning up whatever debris and yucky is left in there, and you'll never know that the box was ever empty. I do have a couple different swarm catchers around the farm, but it's my opinion that the bees probably would rather have something like this. It's bigger, it already has some established comb, and we've already caught one swarm at least. It's these guys, and they're doing well. For all I know, the bees that were flying in and out of here, maybe they were kind of casing that out as a home. Truthfully, the state of some of those empty hives from last year is quite embarrassing. But it's something that I did want to show you because it's stuff that happens. Last year, we just decided to let the low end drag, and unfortunately that was the bees, but they're bouncing back. They're already reproducing. The colonies that are left there seem really good. They seem really strong. They have a lot of propolis, which is that sticky material that they seal up the seams of their hive with. They just look good, and I'm really happy. Well, hello, sir. Fancy seeing you here. So these are the Langstroth lawns. There's 2 of them that my husband made. Open it up, It fits 31 of these deep frames in here and has 3 entrances. And he just today made these divider boards, which make the box smaller for when the colony is smaller, and then as we need, we can scoot this along and add more frames, and this is going to be really easy for me to manage. Really, I don't want a whole bunch of honeybee colonies. I'm actually kind of glad that we didn't have a swarm moving into that one box before I could get the colonies over here. Managing them in here is going to be so much easier for me. It's at waist level, and I can pick up the frames one by one and check the colonies. And when it comes to harvesting honey, I can tote the frames away in a honey tote that I have. There's a night here coming up soon that's like in the 20s. I think it's high 20s, like 28. And so when it's cold like that, the bees are clustered real tight inside their colony, and that's when we're going to be moving these out to the apiary, and then I'll be able to move some bees into them. Very excited. So I've got a goal to do better by my bees this year, and we'll be keeping up with them a lot better than we did last year. So look forward to more beekeeping videos.